Hello, and welcome to Guaranteed Adventures, where the stories might change, but the adventure is guaranteed. I'm your GM, Seth, and going around the table, we've got...
the new Goblin Posse leader, Nathan, playing Peet Grimsly.
Tim playing Gowpen, who is the new Goblin leader, Hype Man.
What?
I'm the other Seth. I will be playing... Wow. My name. I picked the hardest name.
Three Fingers Truman.
I know. Yeah, my name is Seth, and I will be playing Three Fingers Truman, also known as Preston, and I can never keep it straight. So, but my luck is finally turning around.
I'm Kyle. I'm playing Alvin Rivers, and I'm the boss of these folks.
The boss.
So
The
we
balls.
last left the Saltpeter boys in the town of Jagged Bend, where their bank job went wrong a couple weeks back. The town is in disarray, but they have dealt with the Goblin Desperados, who had been hired by Rivers Railroad Company to harass the town. So it is nighttime, and Alvin has now been given a tip that the chemist has been hiding out in the general store and might have some answers. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should go rest for the night. Not in town, since we have a bunch of goblins, and
In the general store?
go rest in the general store.
You have the deed.
That's true.
Besides saving me, that
And we could always just have Hambone take the goblins out of town.
You really trust Hambone with that, though?
The only thing I don't trust Hambone is keeping our identities safe.
He's
That's-
pretty good at everything else.
He's
but
pretty good
that.
at everything else, but he's not good at keeping identities safe.
yes, Alvin.
I don't like your tone.
I shoot.
He shoots you in the head.
I dodge.
New character.
All right.
Well, you suggested we should go stay in the general store?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the general store, because apparently there's someone in the basement of the general store that we would like to talk to.
Is it Trapper?
I don't know how to tell you this, Truman, but your old friend Trapper is no longer here in the world of the living. Because you literally saw him dead on the floor.
Which, actually, we have some interesting information about that. I think Hambone shared with us. He saw a group of Karhu that kind of earlier before that might have left some scratches. I don't know. It's all secondhand the way I'm hearing this. So
Doesn't sound like a great storyteller.
Okay, you know what? It takes time to craft art, and I am shoved into this situation. Thank you for saving my life, but I am now shoved into this debt that I need to wrap my head around, and I am so very hurt. This spider bite on my leg just keeps itching and itching, even though I know the poison's gone, but I cannot concentrate with it there. So general store sounds great to me, Truman.
Hey, Hambone to the Saltpeter boys. Get over here.
Alvin Rivers, yeah?
Get over here.
What can I do you for?
We're going in the general store.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Hambone?
Yeah.
Was that the car we saw white?
What?
We're going to talk about that in the general store.
Oh, okay.
Send your goblins out of town.
Hey, you goblins, get out of town.
Wait. Let me teach him drink smash first. They'll keep him entertained.
They're not allowed in town.
He says,
Get them out of town.
Don't worry, we got our own stash. Head back to camp, boys. And they all head out of town, except for him, I guess.
Since he doesn't know what's going on, I want Hambone to tell us what's going on.
Okay, so you guys head over to the general store?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hambone says, so, heard you found Trapper dead.
Yep. Classic Trapper.
Classic. What was it? What did it?
We don't know, but we found, what was it, scratch marks all over the place?
Yeah,
Looked like
big claws.
big, there was a dagger in him, right? He was stabbed with a dagger?
Yeah, I think that.
Or was he holding the dagger?
He was holding the dagger.
Yeah.
What
He was
dagger?
Why do you need to know?
Well, okay. In stories, especially ancient stories, there are a lot of them that deal with daggers, and daggers can lead and be clues to other things. And I, being a proficient and historical storyteller, I have my license if you want to see it, but I might know something about the dagger.
So we're thinking it's the Karhu that did this.
Oh, yeah, I seen some Karhu around fighting some elves.
Folks mentioned that there was a ghost in town that was humongous, and we're thinking it was a white Karhu.
I done saw a white Karhu.
Well,
Was it a ghost or was it a white Karhu?
Well, he killed somebody. Killed an elf. He was leading the Karhu fighting the elves. Seem to be following him. Never seen him before, though.
How long ago did this happen, Hambone?
A couple days ago.
Interesting.
Yeah, never seen a white Kahu before.
But where did the Karhu leave town? Obviously.
They disappeared back into the woods. Strange thing, though, I saw him picking up all the elves' weapons.
I pat my pockets as if I had one, but I don't.
What you doing there, Truman?
Oh, just making sure all my money that I've collected is still there.
Oh, Alvin, I've been meaning to ask you, too. There's this gang of goblins here. They done got hired out by a Rivers Railroad Company to harass this town. And it sounded like your name. Y'all know anything about the Rivers Railroad Company?
Who hasn't heard about the Rivers Railroad Company?
Well, yeah, but your name is Rivers.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of two different rivers? Come on, Hambone. This is Alvin. Do you think he would betray us? You think he set us up? Hambone, the more I think about it, I think you set us up.
Well, I didn't set nobody up.
Hambone, I don't think
I
you
wasn't
set
even
us up.
there.
You see? We don't think that you set us up.
He just kind of shakes his head and heads toward the door.
And then I look at Gowpen and I'm just like, I think we need to tell you some stuff. But you probably already figured some stuff out.
I am figuring things out as we're going along, but clarification on what I know would probably be, beneficial for us as a group together.
Hambone leaves to go
Yeah.
join the other goblins.
Hambone, we'll see you later.
Hambone, teach him drink smash.
Adios.
Okay, Alvin, fill me in, please.
Have you heard of the Saltpeter Boys?
Vaguely, some kind of group.
They're a gang
yeah.
of less desirables.
Speak for yourself.
No, he was speaking for you.
And some desirables.
Of course, Alvin.
And some.
Undesirable.
And some.
Yes, okay.
We all recently
Yep.
were in this town. We caused some of the damage in this town. But it wasn't our intention to damage the town.
Okay.
Someone betrayed us.
Okay.
And, we're three members of Saltpeter Boys.
Okay.
I'm Alvin Rivers.
Okay.
Mad Gun, Alvin Rivers.
Okay.
This is Three-Fingered Truman.
Truman. Yep. That's
As
how
you
he
can tell,
introduced himself.
He has 3 fingers on one hand.
Yeah.
And this is Tooth Fairy Pete.
Howdy.
I'm sure you can figure out why he's called Tooth Fairy Pete.
Yes, the teeth
My
collection
yeah.
kind of makes sense. Everyone needs a hobby.
We're trying to figure out who betrayed our gang, causing many of our members to die.
Betrayal.
Betrayal.
Yes. The classic story trope.
Our
betrayal.
trail led us to what was the name of the Talon's Run? Our trail led us to Talon's Run, where we found one of our former members who we thought betrayed us, dead.
Trapper.
Trapper.
'Kay.
Classic Trapper.
May he rest in peace.
Sounds like he's resting in pieces, but that's for...
he
No,
was
he
in
wa-
one piece.
He was in one
Yeah,
piece?
he was just
Okay.
pretty scratched up.
Scratched up. Gotcha.
Well, anyway, now our trail has led us down to the bottom of this general store. For there's a chemist, apparently. Just hiding out in the bottom of this general store, boys.
Would you happen to know the name of this chemist?
I do not, but we're about to go meet him.
Based on my extensive alchemy skills and training, would I potentially know the name of a chemist that is
roll it.
in regular advantage?
You got the alchemist right, so you can roll with advantage.
Yes. Success.
Nice. You know that there's a pretty successful chemist out of Jagged Bend, Zebulon Orchard.
Zebulon Orchard.
Zebulon Orchard, and he's made leaps and bounds in metallurgy.
This wouldn't happen to be Zebulon Orchard, would it?
I have no idea. They didn't tell me a name. They just told me a chemist is in the basement of this here store. And we're going down there to figure out what happened. Because apparently his store is what caused the explosion.
Oh.
And he's been in hiding since the explosion.
Well, he has been dabbling in the experimental.
And that explosion killed No Shoes Billy.
May he rest in peace.
I like No Shoes Billy.
That name is lost on me. I'm sorry.
He was one of our family
Rest-
members in our gang.
Oh,
Blew
okay.
the shoes right off him.
Blew the no shoes right off him. I heard they put some shoes on him.
Well, that is, proper.
I would have not liked to
Burial.
see that.
Oof.
Oh.
Sounds like
That
his
sounds
were truly beautiful if he did not need shoes.
Well, let's head down to this.
Yeah, it's just full on night now.
Let's rest and then head down.
Is there, in this general store, are there like cots and sleeping stuff, or is it mainly like food, dry storage supplies?
There's some cots, there's food, canned goods.
Perfect.
It looks like it looks like the general store has been shut down.
Oh.
Since there's been nobody to run it.
Gowpen definitely takes like 2 cots and puts them next to each other and makes that a large bed for himself. Even though one cot is probably twice as big as he is as a goblin.
So everybody's bunking down?
I'll stay up to keep watch for part of the night.
Yeah, you guys take turns on watch.
Yep.
It's a quiet night now that the Desperados are dealt with. And you all get a full night's rest, so you can go back up to full health.
Sweet.
Which I know a lot of you were close to death.
Yes.
So you wake up rested and refreshed. And you actually wake up to hear somebody rummaging through the canned goods section.
Well, someone's probably if we're doing shifts, someone probably.
Oh, yeah. Who would have taken the last shift, the morning shift?
Probably me.
Okay, yeah.
Gowpen absolutely did not take
No,
watch.
I didn't make you take watch at all.
Perfect.
Pete, you hear somebody rummaging through the canned goods.
Find anything good over there?
A wild-eyed dwarf with a long white beard and kind of crazy white hair turns towards you and says, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
He scoops up a bunch of cans and jumps into a hole in the floor and pulls the trap door shut.
All right. I take note of where that trapdoor is.
Okay.
Probably would have woken up to the screaming.
Probably. Yeah, you probably all woke up.
Yep. Crazy old dwarf over here. Find some food.
Don't call Truman a crazy old
No,
dwarf.
no,
he hates being called that. You know that.
What?
No.
Good morning, Truman.
Crazier.
Hello.
Crazier than Truman. Because he has to be crazy to be crazier than Truman.
What?
There's an old dwarf around here.
What did I say while I was sleeping?
There's an old dwarf apparently rummaging through the food supply here.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Did I wake up?
No,
no,
it's
it
not
was someone
you.
else. He went down this whole little trap door right here.
Well, I just cannot believe that someone would steal from the best heroes in the land. So I'm going to go down over and open the trap door that he just pointed out and yell down, "Thieves will not be tolerated in this establishment." And I will walk down the stairs.
I'm not saying yes. I grab a kind of like a thing of canned food, just open it up and start eating breakfast.
As you head down, you see a crazy white-haired dwarf eating a can of beans, and he just looks up at you like he's been caught, and he says, "Ain't nobody here."
Wait one moment. And I put like my finger to my temple, and I just stared intently at his eyes and say, "Zebulon Orchard."
He drops the can of beans.
As I thought. What are you doing down here?
Eating beans?
Well, I know you're eating beans, Zebulon. I mean, what are you doing, like, in the grand scheme of, like, life as a whole? Like, what's your purpose?
Well, my mother always wanted me to be a reporter, but I thought I'd get a try on the railroad.
Okay,
See the world a little bit. So I joined up with the Navy.
Gonna walk down the stairs. Be like, why'd your store blow up?
Why'd my store blow up? Why'd my store blow up? He gets very mad at that. And
I pull out my gun just to like calm him down in a way, to be like, you better calm down or something's gonna happen.
he says, "I tell you, that Rivers Railroad Company rigged it to blow."
What are you talking about?
Look, he kind of walks towards the stairs and goes upstairs unless anybody's going to stop him.
No.
So you guys head up into the general store.
Zebulon, you're downstairs, you're upstairs. Pick one, please.
Look, I'm going upstairs.
We're gonna go upstairs.
Okay,
We're
fine.
gonna talk.
I have been hiding out here for 2 weeks. Why should I tell you what's going on?
Because I have a gun.
You drive a hard bargain. Okay.
If you need any...
If we want to be more correct, I have 2 guns.
I heard some scuffle going on with goblins last night. Was that not you?
I
Points to,
mean,
like, I should get my garb on, and I put on the hat and desperado.
You're the goblin chief?
Yeah, I am now.
goblins are taken care of.
What do you mean they're taken care of?
They're my posse now.
They're his posse, and he's part of our groups.
Wait, so they're not terrorizing the town anymore?
No more goblin terrorizing.
Oh, thank heavens.
Can't promise you about no dragons, though.
Well, look, I'll tell you what I know. Sounds like you lot can handle yourselves pretty well. Look, Rivers Railroad Company hired me out to do some metallurgy. They brought me a whole heap. They brought me as much worthless metal as they could, destrite. and they told me to make something good out of it. So I experimented and managed to get my hands on a piece of dragon bone elf weaponry. Mixed a little bit of dragon bone in with the Destrite. You know what happened? Created something whole new. I discovered a new alloy. And he gets very excited as he talks about it. I call it Draconium. And there's ain't nothing like it in the world. I wish I could have shown it to you. Don't have any of it left.
You used
How
all
long
of
does
your
it take to create this Draconium?
The time's not much of an issue, but getting a furnace hot enough to melt the dragon bone down to mix with the Destrite is tough. And Destrite, there's not a whole lot of it for mining, and dragon bone, well, the elves have got a monopoly on that. They ain't gonna let anybody take it. So, I tell you, ain't no metal like Draconium.
How much Destrite do you need?
You can use any amount to make some.
Like this. I hold up the chunk that I had in my pocket.
Oh, yeah, you can make a decent piece of Draconium out of that.
Where could you find a furnace hot enough to make something?
Well, I had one back in my chemist shop, but I haven't been there since it burned down. Who knows if that's still standing.
What is this Draconium useful for?
Well, his eyes light up when you ask that question. And he says, I tell you, look, it absorbs, it turns kinetic energy into potential energy. And it can turn potential energy right back into kinetic energy. So you smash it with a hammer, it won't budge. It'll absorb the energy. But you chuck it at something, it'll take that force. When you chuck it at something, it crashes into it, and the force explodes out of the metal.
From the hammer blow.
From the hammer blow.
Can you build up on it? Could you like charge it up even more? Or does it have to be a single punch?
Rivers Railroad was charging it up by putting it between pistons. And the crazy thing about it is, get rid of all oxygen. Don't let it touch any oxygen. Drop it in water, it releases it in heat. So Rivers Railroad was going to use it so that they didn't have to pump coal anymore. They'd charge up their Draconium and drop it right in the water to create steam to power all their engines. They were going to monopolize the railroads. But they wanted to be the only ones that could make Draconium. So they hired some thug out from the Saltpeter gang to come blow up my shop while they were in town.
Who was it?
Gaines? Something Gaines?
Trapper?
That sounds right.
No.
The plot thickens even more.
So they wanted to tie up every loose end.
That is
so they used
not-
Trapper to tie up my loose end.
That is not classic Trapper.
Wait, you all knew him?
By reputation only. I close my eyes and turn around.
By hearsay only for me. Now, Zebulon, I am also an accomplished alchemist. I know you're more chemist, alchemist, that area. If I were to assist you, maybe with some of the stuff in here, do you think we could create a forge or something hot enough to melt this draconium? Or melt the... Destrite.
He shakes his head and says, nah. There's nothing solid enough in here to hold that kind of heat.
Okay. Is there...
Should we head to his shop to see if his forge is still intact?
Can't hurt. How far away are the elves? We need more of this dragon's bone stuff to melt anyway, right?
You know that there's a tribe of elves very close to town.
Elves aren't going to just give us dragon bone.
Well, of course they're not just going to give it to us. We have to go in and wipe the tribe out and then take it.
Whoa.
It is in all of the classic historical stories.
You saw the dragon, right?
I don't know if that is something that we should aspire to simply because it used to happen.
Well, how else am I going to pay back my debt to you guys for saving my life unless we come up with a story of equal proportions to how you saved me? Otherwise, you're stuck with me.
I don't want that.
I think we need to
figure
out what we need to do with the Rivers Railroad, since they're apparently the ones that caused the betrayal of the gang. We need to get vengeance for our gang.
Right.
That's right. We don't really need to save anybody.
We don't need to save anybody. I just want to kill someone.
Vengeance, great plot hook. The way to accomplish said vengeance, Draconium. Right, Zebulon?
Huh?
Yes, exactly, Zebulon. Thank you. Your opinion is valued.
I think we take this pent up frustration we got and we put it towards Trapper. We got to kill that son of a gun.
Trapper.
Okay.
Alvin just puts his hand to his,
Oh,
his face
Oh, yeah, that's
palms.
right. Mission accomplished already.
We didn't do that, though.
Ah, you're right.
I need the satisfaction.
All right, so
Someone died.
let's make a list. We need to get revenge for Trapper. We bless his heart.
Okay, I'm gonna put an asterisk by that one.
Truman, Trapper betrayed us.
So we don't need.
We don't need to get vengeance for Trapper.
Yeah.
We need to get vengeance for 2 Shoes Billy, 1 Shoes Billy, and No Shoes Billy.
Brothers?
No, they were just all friends.
Oh, of course. Well, how did I not see that?
Actually, they were kind of just acquaintances. They didn't really hang out that much.
That's true. They kind of each ran their own section of the
They
game.
kind of just did their own thing.
We don't really know why they
We
were
actually
called.
only saw them once a year. And they didn't even talk to each other. They
Is
just
it-
kind of just like, we're just like, hey.
Is
And
when
they
they all
still are.
traded shoes? Is that when
Oh
you
no,
saw
they
them?
never traded shoes. They just simply had that number
They
of shoes.
just had that shoes.
There's a knock on the door. There's a knock on the door.
Go away. We are in the middle of scheming.
I'll go check the
I
door.
immediately shoot through the door 10 times. The person's dead. Now let us get back to what we were doing. Stop trying to railroad us, GM. There's another knock on the door.
I'll go check the door.
Are you like opening it or just peeking out the window or what?
I'll just like look out the window.
There are 2 people outside. One is the Marshal that's followed you from town to town. Guns put away. No guns out. The other is an elf, a female elf. She's got dark skin, pointy ears, runic tattoos on her arms, a long braid that hangs down her back. And you would be familiar with that the elves do not recognize the authority of marshals.
We are kind of in a pickle.
Why is
but,
that? Who's at the door? Who's that?
Marshal and a elf.
An elf.
Which we
Any-
could get
any-
Dragon Bone from them, I guess, if we can do that
Right.
right now. But there's a Marshal who...
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. I ignore the Marshal. Hello.
We haven't
The door hasn't been opened yet. You can't. Are you opening the door?
I'll open the door and be like...
Excuse me, ma'am. Hello.
Is it?
I was just lean on the door, just not opening the door all the way yet.
Hello. Excuse me, ma'am. Hello. I have a battle axe for trade.
Truman, I don't think this is the time. Marshal,
Rivers, Truman.
who's your friend here?
This is Samira, chief of the elf tribe around these parts.
What
Got a
what can we do for you?
Well, Samira shared some information with me that sounds like you might care about.
Okay.
We already know Trapper's dead. We already know.
Trapper Gaines.
Yes. And he
Yes.
betrayed us.
That's what I put together. Found his body dead in a hotel room. So you
In a
found it
hot-
first?
We found it first, but we didn't do it.
I believe you. Unless one of you's got large claws that I don't know about.
We both look at Pete.
I look at Gowpen.
You guys did not tell me that he was in a hotel room. That changes everything. There are so many more suspects now for his death. My goodness, people. Leave out key details like that in a story and get kicked off of the.
I'm so
the
sorry. Here's
storytellers.
another piece of paper to rewrite that stuff.
Look.
It's like a toilet paper here.
This looks like really nice paper.
Oh, actually,
Now look,
fine.
the three of you are
Surprised me.
still wanted criminals for some of your activity with the Saltpeter gang. What? But from what I hear,
Alleged.
you may be able to help these elves out, and in return, I may be able to clear your names, seeing as you were not the ones responsible for all the death and destruction here in Jagged Bend.
Well, it should be pretty easy to clear their names because they are bona fide heroes, okay?
Who in the blazes is that goblin?
He is our chronicler.
Marshal-
I'm Pete. I thought we already
Where
knew
did
that.
you learn that word?
Rebecca sang a song about it.
That was one of her favorites. It was The Chronicler.
I see you're actually becoming a fan of Rebecca.
Oh, I'm not a fan of Rebecca.
Wait,
He is.
y'all know Rebecca?
Of course we know Rebecca.
Truman
Who does not
loves
know Rebecca?
I do not know.
He is.
Absolutely
We may have more to
adoring
talk
fan.
about than I thought.
He mad fancies this Rebecca.
Can we come in?
Of course.
Sure. Oh, also, I should say,
Take whatever you need.
when
Just grab a. I grabbed some tea.
when Gowpen says that it's easy to clear our names, not only does he mean because we're bona fide heroes, which is true, but we also know who started the blaze.
Who started the blaze?
Well, it is clear that we did not start the fire. Okay.
But
I
you weren't
still
even
don't know
there.
who you are.
I am Gowpen, the chronicler of this fine troop of gentlemen, and I might owe them a debt.
You realize this is the Saltpeter Boys, right?
Well, I didn't know that when I signed on with them because of my debt, okay?
He still owes us not only a life debt, but a monetary due.
That, I don't owe them that anymore.
I'll hand you a little bit of money. Is that what I'm saying? Just give that to him.
She kind of
Just give
shakes
it
her
to him.
head. The marshal shakes her head and says, "Look, what kind of run-in y'all have with Rebecca?"
She stole all my money.
That sounds about right. What about her brother?
She has a brother?
Yeah. They've been running a double con. She distracts people on stage. He picks pockets.
You're kidding.
Would
Tall
I
guy.
notice that?
Tall guy. He's been running, filching stuff all over town wherever Rebecca goes.
Does it do explosion-y stuff?
There have been some explosions connected to his whereabouts.
I pull out the coin. Like, does this look similar to stuff Aftermath?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I have seen coins like that.
Oh, then I know the guy. He's got a nice leg.
Strange thing to say. What have you
Is
lot
it?
found out about that medal? We've never seen anything like it.
Well, it's actually something that we have created called Draconium. We have a copyright on it, trademark, license, and if anyone decides to use that name, we will expect some sort of fee.
A voice from below the floorboards yells out, "That's not true!" And looking around, you can see that Zebulon is not in sight. He seems to have
Zebulon,
hit.
I'm just gonna go
I
downstairs. for a
told you
little bit.
again, we're upstairs, we're downstairs. Pick one. You said we're
Zebulon,
upstairs.
Get upstairs right now.
He sheepishly comes upstairs. The marshal says, "Zebulon Orchard?
The
We thought you
starter
was
of the
dead.
fair. Yep, he started the
Zebulon
fire.
Orchard, the new chemist of the Saltpeter Boys.
Welcome to the gang. and
Welcome to the gang.
That'll be $5 upon entry.
The elf, Samira, speaks up at this point. "Look, I'm glad that you lot are having fun, but there's a real problem here. Atraxis is on a rampage. We haven't been able to calm her down.
Who's Atraxis?
She's the dragon our tribe follows.
The one that stole the cow?
Last night?
Yes.
That sounds about right. She's been acting very irate lately. It was time for her and her mate to be having an egg. But she acted so irate, we investigated the nest, nothing there. We haven't
Lovers
been able to calm her down
quarrels.
since."
Does I don't know much about dragons, let alone their mating rituals, but we have heard rumblings of someone trying to steal our proprietary knowledge on Draconium, and it's been terrible. They've been using dragon bone to do it.
You know of someone looking for Dragonbone?
Yes.
Apparently, the Rivers Railroad Company.
There has been a scourge of Karhu, led by a big white one, attacking our men and taking their Dragonbone.
Well, sounds like we have connected the dots and
If anybody was going to fight a male dragon, the Karhu might have the best shot.
Atraxis is the
Female.
and what is the male's name?
Yes, Atraxis is the female, her mate is Rivelin.
And the Karhu are after Rivelin, right?
He's gone. We
He
haven't
is-
seen him.
So what you need us to do is stop the Karhu,
We'd greatly appreciate
who
it.
you just said could take on a dragon.
We don't know for sure. But look, we saw them headed towards Rattlestead. Based on what Marshal Collins here said, it seems like both Rebecca and her brother, as well as the Karhu, might be connected to some benefactor.
Sounds like the Rivers Railroad Company to me.
The Marshal nods her head and says, yeah, based on what you lot are saying, that sounds about right.
So if we take out the Rivers Railroad Company, do the Karhu then stop? That would be a question.
That would be cutting off the head of the snake.
Exactly.
Can you really take out the Rivers Railroad Company, though? They have the leader, Charleston, but they also have many sons and daughters.
I
So you
wanted
can't
him, and so why you-
necessarily take out one. You have to take them all out.
Yeah.
Or put someone in place to...
You thinking of somebody like yourself, Mr. Rivers?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, Rivers.
I've done my research. I know who your father is. I know he's Charleston Rivers, head of the Rivers Railroad. I know who your mother is, after connecting with Samira here, of course.
Well, this is perfect. Charleston Jr.
Don't call me that, please. I will shoot you right now.
Fine, Alvin. Charleston Jr. just has such a more regal ring to it. But
I hate my father.
well, then let's gently replace him with you.
With Charles Jr.
The Marshal chimes in. I can't say kindly how well people will react to the illegitimate son of a railroad tycoon taking over the family
And
business.
now you're an illegitimate son? These are details that I need for your story. Beautiful details.
I'm half
Beautiful.
elf. You couldn't tell?
I mean, you're wearing a hat. So
To bring us back together, we could take the head of the snake. I don't know if we can do that right now, though. But what we can do is we can stop what is bothering the elves. We could possibly find out where one of the dragons is and hopefully set things back to a little bit normal pace where other people, not us, other people can maybe solve the rest of the problems. We just need to clear our names, and all we need to do, Marshal, is help the elves. Is that correct?
Samira looks both frustrated and kind of relieved and says, Great. We saw the car who headed towards Rattlestead. Go to Rattlestead, find them, cut the head off the snake. I'll rally my men. We'll catch up with you as fast as we can.
So wait,
But you'll
you
be
said-
able to get there faster than us.
You said cut the head off the snake, but it seems like that's we referenced the snake as being the railroad company. Are we
Let's
doing
go
that
take
one?
care of the car
Or
who.
the car? Oh, okay, the car who. That's the snake.
And
now.
Rebecca and her brother. For
And Rebecca.
one of our members who would kindly like to have a conversation with Rebecca.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Doesn't need to be.
And then we can figure out what to do with Rivers.
Gotcha. So there's two snakes. There's the Carhu snake and the railroad snake.
This is a
a metaphor
there's-
that needs to be dropped.
Okay, perfect.
Samira just turns and leaves.
We're fighting a worm right now. You know, you cut off a head, but it will eventually grow back quickly. You know.
The Marshal says, Well, shall we saddle up?
Let's do it.
Marshal.
All right.
Pete,
Yeah.
do you think Hambone and the rest of the Desperados could meet us there?
Oh, yeah, you can. You can bet we can.
All right. So you're Russell and the posse?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you and about 30 other goblins, the four of you, one human marshal, and about 30 goblins ride as fast as you can to Rattlestead. And it takes about all day.
I'm going to recruit some of the people in the bar.
Go through the night. And as you head out, the marshal kind of rides up next to you all as you're leading the way. And she says, Look, I'm on the side of justice here, and I'm all for giving you all the chance to clear your name. But if you go in and start shooting people without provocation, then it's going to cause a problem. If you can get Rivers to admit what's been going on, I'll take him in. I'll deal with him. But you're going to need proof.
What if there's provocation to be shooting?
Well, if someone shoots at you, feel free to shoot right on back.
What if guns are drawn, but no shooting yet? What if I feel severely threatened?
It'll be up to my discretion, I imagine.
Okay.
Look, if you decide to meet with your father, I'll listen in, but I won't let him see me. So maybe he'll tell you the truth. I might be able to take him in if you can get him to say what happened.
All right.
All right, so you all make it to Rattlestead. And you had to ride through the night to get there, so it is morning time when you reach Rattlestead. And it's a bustling city. People are going to work, riding wagons around, trains are loading up at the train station. And there is a Rivers Railroad headquarters near the train station.
Let's head to the Rivers Railroad.
Where should I go with my posse?
Just have your posse be on the outskirts, and if they hear shooting, to come in and assist.
Hambone, you good with it, taking charge on here?
He tips his hat. And he kind of leads the goblins around the outskirts of town to meet you near there. All right, so the Rivers Railroad Company is a big, it's like a 3-story building, big pillars out front, fancy doors, ornate decoration. And it's basically connected to the rail yard. So the trains are right there within walking distance.
Are the people outside at all?
Yeah, just regular workers.
Okay.
Everyone's coming in to do various tasks.
We're just walking in?
I mean, I can always just initiate things if you would like me to.
The Marshal has changed out of her usual white duster and hat to more plainclothes stuff. She has her badge inside of her vest so that it's not apparent who she is.
Marshall, I wasn't going to say anything, but good job changing because that outfit not doing you any favors.
She smacks you in the back of the head.
Oh! Okay, sorry.
We can do that?
I guess. Okay.
Are you allowed to hit them?
I can go.
No.
I can go in and, I don't know, ask for your father. Would that work?
You work for the newspaper. And
I
you've
work for
heard-
the newspaper. Okay. Let me get in character. Okay. I'm a reporter for the newspaper. Got it. Storyteller. Got it. Good. Okay. See ya.
The
Do you
rattles.
need any of these guys to go with you? To be like
I mean,
I could be your
bodyguard or
your packer, the one who carries all your packs.
perfect. Here. And I'll just hand you my my backpack.
you brought this on yourself.
Here. Perfect. Good. You can, I suppose, come with me. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
I'll look at Alvin and say the call sign is Justice for Billies.
Justice for Billies.
Justice.
Okay.
Okay, that's long. That's long. Can we shorten it to Billies? Just Billies? Or you
Just
want the
Billies?
justice for Billies? That's
Billy with 3 L's.
okay. Billies. Got it. Okay, perfect. I motion for Truman to follow, and we walk through the doors.
Okay. Yeah, you head inside, and it's a nice building. There's a big front desk, and there's some people milling about. A lady at the front desk says, "Hello, welcome to Rivers Railroad. How can I help you?"
Hi, yes, we are so excited to be here. We are doing an expo on the Rivers Railroad Company. I would love to get an interview in with the head guy himself, if he's in. I
Oh,
think that would help.
he's in a meeting right now, but I could pencil you in for next week.
Okay, next week.
Oh, sir,
Good
sir,
work.
calm down. I know, ma'am. He does not handle disappointment well. He is one of the chief editors, and if he doesn't at least get to speak with them, even if it's for a no comment, he will freak out. Ma'am, please. This will be the 3rd time today that he does that, and it's already morning.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, but as I said, Mr. Rivers is in a meeting.
Perfect. I will just sit in on his meeting, Glinda.
I'm sorry, I can't allow you to do that.
Okay, well, you can stop us if you want, but I start walking around the...
Two big guys, very muscular, step forward and block your path.
I will look back and reach my hand out and expect you to give me a scroll.
I will look and hand him the axe.
Okay.
No, our license for reporting. Give me that
when
one.
he hands you the axe, and the guys are going to step forward and try to grab you.
Here, take the axe. I don't care about this thing. That's not what I wanted. I just drop the axe in front of me.
They take the axe, but then one of them picks up the axe, and the other tries to grab you. Yeah, he grabs you. He just kind of grabs your arms.
Fine.
Sorry, sir. And I'll open one of the scrolls and open it for him and be like, "Here, is this what you were looking for?"
I'll turn around and squint and read it.
Okay. Just roll a die and go that many down. See what you roll.
We've got a 4 potentials, so I'm going to roll 2d6.
Just roll a d6 and go back through twice. If you get a 5 or a 6,
Okay.
just go through again. Whatever.
All right. Perfect. That's the Scroll of Time Slow.
Okay. You read the scroll. Basically, you feel the power to affect the whole area around you, but to not affect whatever people you want to.
Perfect. Like how big of a radius are we talking?
Basically, the room.
Okay. So I will affect everyone except for Truman and myself.
Okay, yeah. Everybody else just freezes. The big guy is still holding you, but he is not moving.
Truman, hands, please. Hands.
Yes, of course.
Hands.
I will attempt to pry the hands off of.
Yeah, you can open the fingers up and pry them off of it.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Let's go.
All right. And we walk, and I'll go to right where the time slow area is done.
Okay.
And ask someone, say, "Hi, we were directed to find the meeting room where Charleston is."
Oh, his office is on the top floor.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Top floor, Truman. And we walk upstairs and go up to the thing.
Yeah, you find his big oak door for his office on the top floor.
How many?
3.
How long does the time stop happen?
Oh, I have no idea.
I will quickly run down. Is time still stopped?
Yes.
Great. I will run through, open the doors and go quickly, and try to bring all of them in because I'm not going to have them run through 3 steps, 3 floors.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys walk through the room, and you are apparently not affected by it, but everybody else in the room is basically, you can tell they're in a slightly different position than they were a minute ago, but they're just moving very slowly.
Do I recognize the 2 bigger guys from?
Yeah, they're just guards.
But do I know them?
You've probably seen them before, yeah.
I want to pants them.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you pull their pants down.
Harmless pranks.
I hate these guys.
And then I'll bring them up and go, the call sign is still the same, Justice for Billy. And then...
Well, I mean, now
Thought
that,
it was Billy with 3 L's.
well, now that we're all up here, we could just barge in and have the element of surprise on our hands.
I'm assuming this meeting is with Karhu.
Perfect.
That'd just be my educated guess.
Catch them talking, conversing.
since we're reporters...
So we should just go in. Well, probably not affected by the time slow if we weren't affected by the time slow yet.
Yeah, they're definitely not.
Okay, well.
Let's go in.
All right, I'll stay outside and listen in, the Marshal says.
Thank you, Marshal. I will open up the door and just stand there very confidently and say, Mr. Rivers, we had an appointment.
Charleston Rivers is standing there. He's a sharply dressed, middle-aged man, and he's talking with a sharply dressed, middle-aged woman. And he says, "Who are you?"
I am Gowpen from the Reporters Guild. You have an appointment with us.
I am fairly certain that is not true.
Your assistant downstairs let us in. Would she have let us in if we didn't have an appointment?
Yeah, it is true, sir.
All right, so who all's in the room at the moment?
I think it's just the 2 of us.
I'm just waiting outside the side of the door so we can't see.
Yeah, just Truman and Gowpen.
Yeah.
And who are you with the missing fingers?
Ah, yes, I am Truman.
Truman. 3 fingers, Truman.
No, I am...
One of my son's associates in the Saltpeter Boys.
I have 4 fingers, Truman.
And why is there only 3 fingers on your hand?
And then I move one hand to my other hand. And go, 4 fingers, sir.
Mm-hmm. And who else is that creeping behind the door outside?
Oh, that's Pete.
Oh, hello.
Some teeth scatter out as he falls onto the ground.
Teeth? Well, you must be Tooth Fairy Pete.
I'm too busy.
Another associate of my son's. And he starts walking over towards the door to where you all are.
Billy.
I'll come out from behind the door.
We know that you are and your organization is up to no good.
What in the blazes are you talking about?
We know that you've been...
Well, Father, we've been following some trails, and this here trail has led to you.
What trail?
Well, we know about Trapper.
We know about the car.
We know
Trapper?
about the Desperados.
What Desperados?
We know about the Karhu
I tip
and
my
the
hat.
Can I do
dragons.
insight?
Yes.
'Cause I know my father.
Yes, you can.
That's a success.
He seems genuinely confused.
He doesn't know what's going on. Father, I think we need to have a conversation. I think you need to cancel your meeting.
He turns to the lady. I'm sorry, Mrs. Mayor. Can we continue this at another time? And she politely stands up, kind of frustratedly, and leaves.
I'll give her a tip my hat. We'll walk in. Or I'll walk in first.
He kind of sits back in his tall leather desk chair and says, "Well, this better be good."
Well, first of all, I want to say I am so sorry for coming in here throwing around accusations. So I just wanted to clear the air for that.
At that moment, the 2 big guards from downstairs burst through the door and say, "You! Get out of here!" And they charge towards you. But Charleston puts his hand up and says, No, it's all right. They're with me. And he waves the guards out.
We had a meeting.
No, you did not.
Father, it's me. Of course I had a meeting.
I'm curious to hear what you have to say. That's the only reason y'all haven't been thrown out right now.
Well, someone's using your name to, I don't know,
And company resources.
take over? Secretly? Do you know anything about Draconite?
Draconium.
Draconium?
Conium? Almost sounds familiar. What is it?
It is a alchemical compound of dark spear, darkness,
It's
dark
a metal that does stuff.
things.
Metal?
I think it's Destrite.
Destrite. It's an alchemical mixture of destrite and dragon bones fused together to create a metal so strong that it absorbs impacts and then releases them when desired.
Yeah. No, I'm not familiar with that. Can't say I am, but sounds right up Clayton's alley.
Apparently, someone hired an alchemist down at Jagged Bend. Someone hired the alchemist Zebulon at Jagged Bend to make this.
I heard he got killed. I'd seen him around here a couple of times, though. I think he met with Clayton.
Who told you he was killed?
News. Reported he died in the fire.
You said that Clayton, your other son?
Clayton's my oldest. Ambitious fella.
I think Clayton is doing stuff behind your back, Father.
Based on what?
I'll show him the deed.
Yeah. I was going to say, trying to pull out the deed as they were talking about stuff. Like,
he takes the deed from you and says, I did buy this general store. Thought I'd help the people of Jagged Bend out. Knew they'd been struggling with some problems. But this isn't my signature on here. This does look like Clayton forged it.
He hired one of the Saltpeter boys, Trapper Gaines, to betray the group, and then Trapper ran away. And I'm assuming Clayton wanted to erase Trapper by sending some Karhu to end him.
He shakes his head and says, that boy, too ambitious for his own good. And now you're saying he's responsible for people's deaths?
He's also responsible for a dragon rampage.
A dragon rampage?
Well, the dragon is missing.
Well, the other dragon's rampaging.
Well, also true.
Either way, he is for sure responsible for disrupting the love of two dragons.
Which
You're
is
saying there's a dragon missing?
There's a dragon missing. I'm assuming they're trying to get dragon bone from it so they can make more draconium, which they were apparently going to use to monopolize the railroad business and create.
He's been
steam
talking
engines.
about expanding out to Jagged End for years. He's been wanting to put a station through there. It's the only pass through to the elf lands. I've held off out of respect for the elves and their leaders, but he must be trying to go further and further.
Do you know where Clayton might happen to be at this moment?
At that moment, a whistle blows, a train whistle. Charleston kind of goes a little pale and says, he loaded up a train with a big, heavy metal train car, and it just left. And that's where we're going to end this episode. So thank you for listening. Woo! This has been Guaranteed Adventures. I'm your GM, Seth, and we've got...
Peet, the Tooth Fairy Grimsly, played by Nathan.
Tim playing Gowpen, the now reporter goblin.
This is Seth, who was playing Gowpen's assistant, also three-fingered Truman.
Kyle playing Mad Gun Alvin Rivers.
This has been Guaranteed Adventures. Thank you for listening, and have a good one.
Guaranteed Adventures is brought to you by Seth Guthrie as our GM, Nathan Kuipers, Kyle Bateman, Tim Gallegos, and myself, Seth Kleinwort. Our theme song was created by Rob Benson, and our Rattlestead theme is Country Vibes by Caffeine Creek Band. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at GU AdventurePod. Our website is guadventurepod.com. Please feel free to give us a rating on your podcast platform of choice and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end of the episode. Here's a preview of our next episode coming out next week.
Who are you? The illusion will do a very Blue Steel-esque turn and look and say, I am Trapper.